Welcome back. Hello. It's episode 6. I'm so excited to get back into playing this. It is currently the wee hours of the night and I'm craving some Dream Daddy. So I'm here to play some Dream Daddy. Last time we went on a date with Robert and that was not a super fun time. I remember feeling not good. I remember feeling left out. I remember feeling peer pressured and just unsatisfied all around. So I'm excited to see what this episode will bring. We ended last episode with being invited to a poker party by Matt, so we'll see how it goes. Let's dive right in, shall we? Matt invited me to a poker night at Joseph's house. I put on my going out coat and walk over. Across the way, I spot Matt, who's walking over from his house. He's got a case of beer under his arm. Crap, I should have brought something. Hey, man. Crap, I should have brought something. Haha, no worries, man. It's your first time. Just bring a full wallet. How long have you guys been at this for? Years, buddy. Just a nice way to keep in touch with the guys. It's never really high stakes. Cut to it being high stakes. We pass through the fence enclosing Joseph's backyard. Craig, Brian, and Joseph hover around the patio, drinking beer and chatting. Robert sits in the corner, brooding as usual. Papa, glad you could make it.
Oh.
So am I. I'm psyched to take all your money. Just like old times. Craig's the resident shark. We prefer the term person who's good at poker. I'm well aware. Craig's always been suspiciously good at poker. Are you still as terrible as you were in college? I'm gonna tell the truth. I am still terrible at poker. My tell is a sustained childlike giggle. There's no way you're as bad as Joseph. Joseph shrugs.
Hey.
This is basically my tithing. I'm giving back to the community.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm happy to just sit here and eat all of Brian's snacks. Guess who brought pigs in a blanket? Not Craig. Hey, my cheese seed and granola energy bars are just as delicious. Everybody laughs. Let's just get the game going.
Nice.
We all take a seat at the table and Matt starts dealing cards. The first couple rounds go by easily as I'm getting the hang of things, but it's obvious that Craig is running the show here. Craig, how did you get so good at this? It's pretty easy. You just start getting a feel for everybody's tell, like Matt will scratch his ear. Hey. Brian adjusts his pants when he's trying to lie. Now wait a second. And I think you just loudly announce to the whole room when you have a good hand. Yep, that's me. What's Joseph's tell? Everything. Literally everything. That man is an open book. He couldn't lie if he tried. Well, at least I have God on my side. See? You can't even say that with a straight face. What about Robert? Honestly, the man's an enigma. Robert raises his glass of whiskey to us in a solemn salute. I think he'd wipe the floor with us if he actually tried. I'm just here because I enjoy the company. Robert pulls out his phone and stares at it. Robert, is that a flip phone? Yeah. What are you, a drug dealer now? Yeah, what do you need? Horse? Speed? 𝘱𝘴𝘴𝘵. What? I can get you the street stuff easy, but if you're looking for something exotic or designer, that's maybe 72 hours and a favor called. Maybe I won't need you today. Maybe I won't need you tomorrow, but someday. Oh, I think I'm good. Right. But still, if you got the coin, I got the goods. I dropped my phone in the toilet, and this is my backup until I can get it replaced under warranty. Everyone murmurs their sympathies. We've all been there. We go back to playing. I really gotta stop eating these pigs in a blanket. Pigs in a blanket? I don't know. But they're very good. I think there might be cheese in them. Oof, I don't know if I got enough to raise you on this round. You can always bet your firstborn.
Hey.
If you think you can handle another one, be my guest. Briar or Hazel are a handful, to say the least. Buddy, you think 3 kids is a handful? Try 4. I'm operating at 100% dad capacity at all times. Actually, it's technically 5. Christine saw a commercial for one of those dolls that poop and wouldn't stop asking for it. We ended up getting it for her birthday, but she's so grossed out by the fake baby poop that she makes me change its diapers. So now I'm changing the real baby and the fake baby.
Hey.
There's just a lot of poop in my household right now. Ew. Daisy got one of those a while back. One night I walked in on her after she had tried to take the doll apart to see how the poop mechanism worked. But then she couldn't put it back together and started crying. Poop everywhere. Fake poop, but still. That reminds me of... Wait, do we all have poop doll stories? Everyone nods in agreement. Guys, I really don't need any more poop in my life than there is already. Can we just get back to poker and not talk about poop?
Nice.
Matt deals another hand and we quickly forget about the poop. We run out of pigs and blankets, so we switch over to Craig's healthy snack food. It's actually not terrible.
Hey.
These kale chips are phenomenal. We should sell these at the coffee shop.
Oh.
It's my own recipe. I'd be happy to give it to you guys.
Hey, dude.
I can see it now. Pierce the Kale chips. Pierce the Veil is a popular post-hardcore screamo band out of San Diego. We all look at Matt, confused. It's maybe not any of your wheelhouses.
Nice.
How's the shop nowadays?
Hey.
Busy as ever. I'm toying with the idea of hiring on another person to work the counter, but I haven't found a good candidate. If Amanda's looking for a summer gig, let me know. That's really nice of you, but I think she's been burned too badly by coffee shops before, literally, not figuratively.
Hey.
All I saw was the word Cox. Matt cocks his head to the side. I'll ask her though. We get down to the final hand of the night and is Craig in the lead by a landslide. Joseph has long since lost all of his chips and has taken to tidying up, refusing any help from the rest of us. Brian deals us all cards. So what's it gonna take for Robert to give a damn on this round? Robert looks up from his half-empty glass of whiskey. Do you really want to unleash the beast? Oh. Well, now I'm curious. I got a long history of being a gambling man, but I'll only do it if you make it interesting. None of this penny chip nonsense. I got a Lily's 18-year single blend sitting in my closet right now. Was saving it for when River turns 21, but I'm willing to put it up as collateral. Now you're talking my language. He throws the keys to his truck on the table. She's seen better days, but she can still pull a tree trunk out of the ground. Nope.
Oh.
Myself and everyone else at the table immediately folds. Deal the cards, brag guy. Are you guys sure you wanna? You are the man. Deal. Brian deals the next round of cards. Craig stares daggers at Robert, who casually sips his whiskey. So, I know what you might be thinking. Robert put his old workhorse up for grabs, his only mode of transportation, at times in his life, his only home. How could he be so sure of his abilities of gambling? I'll tell you right now, Craig. I wasn't always like this. I was a lot like you, smart, talented, cocksure of my own luck, great biceps, but I didn't last long though. I lost everything in a game of Pai Gao in the back of a room of a Shenzhen tea house on what I thought was a 3-day business trip. Everything gone. Clothes, money, identification, you name it. I woke up in a ditch near Zaizu Park and had to make my life new from there. It took me 3 years to beg, borrow, and steal my way back to American soil. And in those 3 years, I saw the greatest depth of human fear. Loved deeper than I ever had, and lost it all many more times over. I've seen my own death, Craig. I know how I die. It's not like this. So let's make this more interesting. Robert produces the deeds to his house from his jacket and tosses it on the table. Does he just carry that around? Well, I guess to poker night. All I have and all I am. Are you prepared to go the distance?
I don't know.
Craig wipes the sweat from his brow. He studies Robert's face intently, searching for any sort of tell that he could find. Robert casually sips his whiskey again. I fold.
Hey.
Everyone erupts. Fine, the whiskey is yours. And that's why you don't dance with the devil. So what was it? Were you bluffing or did you have the cards? That's for me to take to my grave, fellas. Next week, boys? Next week.
Hey.
You got it.
Dude.
I'll be there. I almost had a heart attack. Sure thing. This has been very relaxing, and I sincerely doubt I will wake up in a cold sweat thinking about it tonight. Yes. Keep working on that poker face, Papa. We all say our goodbyes and head our separate ways.
Welcome. You've got dads.
You've got dads. Okay, who should we... I don't think we've done anything with Hugo yet. No, we haven't done anything with Hugo yet. I think Hugo's like the last main one that I'm very curious about. I'm gonna read through his profile. Muscles, okay. Muscles are his turn on. Documentaries on art history, kind of sexy. I'm curious about Hugo. I think we should message Hugo. Let's message Hugo. Message. I navigate to Hugo's dad book page and type out a message. Hey Hugo, great seeing you at the barbecue. Want to hang out sometime? I wait a few minutes before the computer dings. I'm so glad you messaged me, and I definitely want to hang out sometime, but I have a favor to ask. Our class is going on a field trip to the aquarium today, and one of our chaperones called sick. Is there any possible way you could come by and replace them? Uh-oh. I completely understand if you don't want to or can't make it, but I'm gonna be honest with you here. It's the middle school class. I need as much help as I can get. I think about it for a moment. Man, that's a lot of screaming kids that I'd be accountable for, and they're in middle school, arguably the worst age to be. Literally. Amanda silently trudges to the kitchen and pours herself a bowl of cereal. Morning, Amanda. Morning, Pops. Hey, how is middle school for you?
Dad.
Bad. But nobody likes middle school. It's 3 years of bad acne, crying, and being generally terrible. I mean, still. Everyone sucks, no self-awareness. It's just a bunch of hormonal teenagers locked in a gross old building for 40+ hours a week, doing long division and starting fights over, I don't know, pizza day? Top 40s pop? Middle schoolers should be avoided at all costs. What was your middle school experience like? I didn't like it. I had my first crush in middle school, and I'm still bitter about it. Alexis Stuggs. You hurt me, and I'll never forget. What did she do to you? I stare off into middle distance, remembering the 24 hours that we dated and the 3 times we held hands between class periods. Then I remembered the bitter betrayal, her leaving me for Arnold Birmingham, him making me eat dirt in front of her. I don't want to talk about it. See, middle schoolers are reprehensible. Wait, why are you asking me about middle school? Oh, Mr. Vega requested my help to chaperone his middle school class to the aquarium. Just wanted to know what I was in for. You get to go to the aquarium? Are you kidding me? The last field trip I got to go on was to the clam chowder factory. They didn't even give us clam chowder. They gave us square pizza at a clam chowder factory. Oh, is that why you won't eat clam chowder anymore?
What?
No, it's because Bobby Wellingham threw up into one of the vats of clam chowder, and I'm the only one who saw it happen. It haunts me. Right. Let's leave that story firmly in the past. Anyway, you should just do it. Mr. Vegas sounds like he could really use the help. Plus, you get to hang out with cool fish. Amanda, I get kind of weird about aquariums. The ocean makes me nervous. What? Are you worried that a whale is gonna pop out of the touch tank and swallow you whole? Don't you put fear in my heart. Well, do they have penguins there? Yes, they have penguins there.
Yeah.
Then it's settled. Penguins outweigh fear of oceans. I sit back down at the computer and let Hugo know I'm available. He tells me to meet him at the aquarium and gives me the address. I grab my keys and kiss Amanda on the forehead before I head out. To the aquarium we go. I arrive at the aquarium to find that the school buses have beaten me there. Preteens huddle around their teachers in small groups, yelling at each other and goofing off. Every teacher looks like they're at their wits' end. It hasn't even started yet. Hugo jogs up to me, looking frazzled. I'm so glad you're here. Hugo!
I don't know.
It's been a debacle all morning. We're shorthanded and most of the kids won't stop screaming, as I'm sure you know is the case with all middle schoolers. I lived through Amanda at 12. I'm all too familiar. Great. Well, it's you and me chaperoning a group of 10 kids. They're over there. Hugo walks me over to a gaggle of preteens who are all sitting on the ground playing with their phones. They're not kicking each other like some of the other groups, so we're off to a good start. Can you guys put your phones away? All of the kids look up for a moment and stare at Hugo. They then go back to texting. At least they're quiet. Too quiet. These guys are up to something. I can feel it. There's no way. They're too busy thinking about not getting food stuck in their braces to pull any stunts. It's middle school after all. We'll see. I love aquariums. The classes start filing into the aquarium and Hugo hands out massive stapled packets of paper to each kid. These are due at the end of the field trip. Yes, there will be for a grade. No, you cannot borrow a pencil. The kids collectively groan and grab the sheets from Hugo. What's the packet? Honestly, it's just busy work so that the teachers can have a moment's reprieve. I think one of the questions asks them to sit quietly for 10 minutes to think about the Great Barrier Reef. Teacher hacks. I like that. Wait, I thought you were an English teacher. What does the aquarium have to do with books? We just did a unit on the old man and the sea. Nothing quite like introducing kids to the futile perseverance of the human spirit by making them pet stingrays.
Yes.
It gives us time to check out some of the exhibits as well. Come on, they have a phenomenal selection of tropical fish. While the kids sit on the floor and pretend to do their assignments while they text, Hugo and I wander over to a large tank filled with brightly colored fish. Hugo points to a brown and white fish with long spines.
Hey.
That right there is a lionfish. Did you know that their stomachs can expand up to 30 times in size? Whoa.
Hey.
Their spines are venomous too. Nature is hardcore.
Yes.
You think that's bad? Take a look at this one over here. Hugo points to a spiny, grumpy-looking fish hanging out near the bottom of the tank. That's a stonefish, the most venomous fish in the world. And they just, like, keep it here? Oh, they're relatively harmless so long as you don't step on them. What happens if you step on them? Tissue necrosis. Cool.
Hey.
Nature's wild. Man, Hugo seems to know a lot about fish. I feel the overwhelming need to impress him. Hey, see that fish over there? That one? Yeah, that's the... Humphead Ross. Yeah? Did you know that... Oh, I'm gonna go with paranormal fish trivia. This fish sleeps upside down, but contrary to popular belief, is not an actual vampire. That's the vampire fish. Wait, are you serious? Absolutely not. I'm playing it for the gag here. Ha. Hearts. Good one. We lead the kids to another room. Sharks, sea turtles, eels, and other marine life swim around in a massive floor-to-ceiling aquarium. The kids begin trying to take selfies with the sharks. Hugo leaves my side to separate two kids who started fighting over a Capri Sun. I walk around the room reading the tiny little blurbs about different fish swimming inside of the enclosure. After a while, I look around and see Hugo again. He's gazing up at the aquarium in childlike wonder. The ripples in the water cast blue moving shadows across his face. For someone surrounded by angry hormonal preteens, he looks completely peaceful. He looks really cute in this light. I hope he doesn't notice me staring. Wow. I walk over to join him. Beautiful, isn't it? It's so wholesome. We can learn a great deal from Mother Ocean. A great many mysteries lie in the ocean. It truly is fascinating to be able to observe it in a setting such as this. We got eggplants. That's a very astute point, Papa. We stand together for a moment, admiring the wonders of marine life. What if we held hands in the aquarium? We eventually make our way to the touch tank room, which seems to be the only thing the kids are actually interested in. The tank is filled with a variety of horseshoe crabs, sea urchins, stingrays, and small fish. I stand around the edges of the tank and keep a wary distance from the sea life. Who knows what kind of nefarious plans those horseshoe crabs have for my well-moisturized hands. Hugo rolls up his sleeves and sticks his hand in the water. Don't you want to pet some stingrays, Papa? Oh, I think I'm good. I think I should just stay over here and admire them from a respectful distance. Come on, it'll be fun and informative. Don't make fun of me, but I'm scared to touch them. I get weird when there's no glass separating us. I don't know what any of those things are, but I get a feeling that they will probably bite me and my delicious hand if given the chance. Nothing in this tank can hurt you. The stingrays have their barbs removed, the horseshoe crabs only eat little clams, and the anemones are perfectly safe to touch. Against my better judgment, I approach the tank, slowly dipping my hand into the cold water. I touch a stingray as it glides past me. See, not so bad. It feels like fun, slimy leather. Things get a lot less scary when you learn more about them, right? I dive my hand back into the touch tank with a renewed vigor for ocean life. I poke at some urchins and feel the hard carapace of a horseshoe crab. My hand brushes against Hugo's. As we reach for the same anemone, I pull away blushing. Hugo smiles at me. Hey, you're supposed to be touching the fish. Sorry, I just get a little carried away Wait, that girl over there looks suspicious. Why is that? Are backpacks usually that wet? Hold on. Susan, get back here. Hugo runs after a middle schooler and catches her before she can make it to the exit. Want to tell me what's in the bag? Textbooks? Want to tell me what's really in the bag? Susan won't budge. I walk over to Hugo and the girl. I think he might need a bag cop. Look, kid. No. We don't have time for games here. Whatever it is, it goes back into the touch tank. Now. You're not a teacher. You can't tell me what to do. Yes, well, I am. Can you please put the bag down? Next time, we won't say please. Susan glares at Hugo for a moment before dropping her book bag on the floor. It lands with a wet slap. Ew. We stare at it for a moment before it starts to move.
What?
Hugo leans down and unzips the backpack. A horseshoe crab frantically scuttles out and across the floor. An employee swoops in, scoops it up, and places it back into the tank. She gives us a disapproving look. Jesus, Susan, what was your plan? I was trying to free him. To where? Outside? Where was he? Where he was gonna die? Susan, go back to your group. We'll discuss this later. Yeah, and hand to where we can see him. Susan sulks off, leaving me alone with Hugo. He gives me a pat on the shoulder.
Oh.
Middle schoolers have sticky hands. I doubt that's the first time that's happened here. Or the last. In the next room, we see a variety of smaller tanks, sea urchins, tiny fish, and a rainbow of beautiful underwater plant life surrounds us.
Ah.
Look over here. Hugo points to... That's supposed to be two. Hugo points to some seahorses gathered at the bottom of the tank. One of them is in the middle of giving birth. That's actually the male seahorse. Sort of takes fatherhood to a new level, doesn't it? Hey kids, come check this out. There's a male seahorse giving birth. A low murmur from the students. They just jump back to their phones.
Ah.
Fun fact, male seahorses can give birth and then get pregnant in the same day. Man, we thought we had it hard.
Hey.
I wonder if they have to deal with their kids' awkward teenage years too. All, however, many thousands of them. You seem to know a lot about marine life, Hugo.
Ah.
It's not really my specialty, but I do make a point to learn as much as possible whenever I can. I think that learning shouldn't end when you leave school. We should challenge ourselves to find out more about things we don't understand every day of our lives. Respect the fuck out of that. Because if you stop learning, I don't think you'll ever be able to grow or change as a person. Good point. But I still don't trust the ocean. We'll get there. We finally make our way over to my favorite part of the tour, the Arctic exhibit. Do we get to see the penguins?
Ah.
Yes, we get to see the penguins. Hell yes. A group of kids run around the exhibits. They won't stop tapping on the glass of the puffin enclosure, trying to get their attention. For the last few moments, teachers, chaperones, and students alike seem to be having a great time. What was I so worried about? This isn't so bad.
What?
Hugo suddenly grabs my arm. Oh my god, there's a student in the penguin enclosure. Wait, just kidding. It's very bad. Is it one of ours?
I don't know.
It most certainly is. Molly Henderson, Susan's friend. I look over to the penguins and see a determined looking kid crouching behind a rock. She's hiding just out of sight of one of the employees. Over on the side of the enclosure, I see a door to the exhibit ajar. Was it unlocked this whole time? We gotta stop her before the staff sees and bans our school for life. Hugo looks around. I'll create distraction. Hugo runs toward the puffin exhibit and addresses the entire room. Everybody, 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 I have an announcement. The whole room turns to Hugo. Here's a few facts I bet you didn't know about penguins. Everybody just stares at Hugo confused. Well, this is my shot. I run to the enclosure and I'm greeted by a cold blast of air. Psst, hey! The girl whips around to look at me, her nose pink from the cold. You can't be in here. Neither can you. I try to walk over to the girl, but the ground is so icy that I just end up slipping. I catch myself before I hit the ground, but the girl still laughs at me.
I don't know.
Contrary to popular belief, penguins are birds. Birds are traditionally known to fly, but penguins cannot. So I can understand some confusion when we're discussing the birdness of penguins. The crowd's still somehow enraptured. Kid, what are you even doing? I'm letting the penguins go. They deserve freedom. Where are they even gonna go? They're gonna live in my closet. Look, I just don't have the time to argue about this. We gotta get out of here. Not until I save a penguin. Little known fact is that penguins only live in cold climates. With some exceptions. So they don't all live in cold climates, if you're splitting hairs here. Did I mention they don't fly? The crowd is starting to lose interest. I'm running out of time. Lay down the law, try to relate to her, bribe her. I'm gonna lay down the law. I prepare to raise my voice at Molly and then hesitate. Is it weird for me to raise my voice at a stranger's kid? Like, is it a parenting faux pas or something? Money. Give me money. I will give you $20 right now if you leave with me. Molly thinks for a second. Okay, well, give it to me right now. I reach into my pocket and pull out everything I have, examining each bill. Okay, well, I have $12 and some change. Also, there's a button in here. Is that enough? Pay me the other $8 later and we have a deal. We move to shake on our arrangement before I suddenly realize there's a wave of penguins on their way out of the enclosure. We're gonna have to block these birds. Oh my god.
Look, that bird.
Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm literally throwing hands. Oh my god. Oh my god. The little noises they make are really cute though. Excuse me, Molly, can you... Oh, I can... Oh. Rapid fire, holy shit. Come on.
Bribe that teen.
Bribe that teen. Okay, penguin escape. Wait, what? Did I do it? Mission complete. Only one escaped. I think that's good. Bribery works. Hell yeah. Woo. Glad that's over. Just in time, too. Looks like Hugo is wrapping up his diversionary penguin speech.
Oh.
And that's why I think penguins are one of the best animals in the world. A few people in the audience clap out of a sense of duty. Everybody starts dispersing. Hugo spots us from across the way and runs over. Molly, what were you doing in there? I was liberating animals, Mr. Vega. You realize that the penguins can only survive in Arctic temperatures, right? you would have had a dead penguin on your hands. Well, it was the thought that counts. No, Molly, it wasn't. Molly turns to me. You owe me $8.
Whoa.
What? Just, I'll pay you later, kid. Molly runs off towards Susan, I suppose, so that they can compare animal thief notes.
Oh.
You're not off the hook, Molly.
Oh.
Papa, did you just bribe a child? I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna say you can't play by the rules when there's penguins on the line. Listen, man, we've all done dark things in our lives. I'm not the young, bright-eyed youth I used to be. That person believed in in a world where you wouldn't have to bribe children to save a penguin. The me today knows different. I only wish I could go back.
Oh.
Let's just get through the day and get out of here. With the day finally coming to a close, the whole field trip is ushered through the gift shop and we make our way back to the school buses. As we leave the aquarium and the kids load into the buses, Hugo pulls me aside. Hey Papa, thank you so much for helping out today. You're a lifesaver. It was no problem. It was actually kind of fun.
Oh.
Let me take you out next time to make it up to you. You like cheese boards? I love cheese boards. Great. I gotta make sure the kids don't steal anything else. See you around. I walk inside to find the house empty. I wonder where the panda's at. Before I know it, Amanda pops in through the front door. What you up to tonight? Just doing some homework. How was the aquarium? It was an adventure. Some kid tried to steal a penguin. We've all been there. I had to run in and grab her before any of the employees saw. You got to go into the penguin enclosure? Did you steal a penguin for us? Amanda, no penguins were stolen thanks to the valiant efforts of myself and Mr. Vega. It was nice getting to spend some time with Hugo, though. I'm surprised he helped complete a covert op. He's usually kind of a what? Kind of a stick in the mud? He's actually pretty cool. I had a good time with him. Alright, too much adventure for me today. I'm gonna go rest my eyes. You mean take a nap? There's a difference. You'll learn when you become a father. That's really funny. Date complete! Oh!
That was exemplary.
Okay, that was exemplary. An A rank. Okay, cool. Potty humor, family fun, mustache, youth, chaperone, bad cop. Pretty decent, I would say. All right, y'all. I think this is a good stopping point before I pick another man to spend more time with. That was a very interesting date with Hugo. I don't even know if I would consider it a date. Unless Hugo's love language is acts of service. In which case, if it is, I definitely bought myself some brownie points today with offering to help him as a chaperone. But Hugo still seems like a really nice, very thoughtful, very like curious guy. Like the way he was looking up at the aquarium, like with the childlike curiosity, really touched my heart. So I loved seeing that side of Hugo, and I'm looking forward to possibly a more romantic date in the future, you know? I'm looking forward to those cheese boards. Thank y'all so much for watching episode 6. I appreciate you very much. If you haven't already, it would mean a lot to me if you subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, and comment below how you're feeling about Hugo so far. I appreciate you big time. Thank you very much. See you in the next episode.